feel having the Democrats in with us is absolutely vital, because this should be a bipartisan bill. This should be a bill of love. Truly, it should be a bill of love, and we can do that.
That was President Trump today leading a rare public bipartisan meeting on immigration reform. As the cameras rolled, 55 minutes of it, the president and members of Congress negotiated or not a way to save DACA and extend legal status for undocumented immigrants who were brought to the U.S. as children before the program expires in March. Then the president even went a step further.
I really think this sells itself. And, you know, when you talk about comprehensive immigration reform, which is where I would like to get to eventually, if we do the right bill here, we are not very far away. And if you want to take it that further step, I'll take the heat. I don't care. I don't care. I'll take all the heat you want to give me. And I'll take the heat off both the Democrats and the Republicans. My whole life has been heat.
So, granted, it's rare to witness any type of policy negotiations, and what made this display more notable is that it comes amid these questions about the president's ability to lead and his ability in office in the wake of that bestseller, Fire and Fury. The book leaned heavily on unflattering information provided by this man, former Trump chief strategist Steve Bannon. As we mentioned, he has stepped down as chairman of Breitbart News just today. Bannon had long been expected to use his post to challenge establishment Republicans in the coming midterm elections. That goal may still be alive and well. We say that because a source close to Bannon tells NBC News that it was politics or news for him, and he had to choose. Here to talk about all of it with us, Anita Kumar, White House correspondent for McClatchy Newspapers, Darlene Superville, White House reporter for the Associated Press, and David Jolly, former Republican member of Congress from Florida. Welcome to you all. So, Anita, you look away for just 1 second, and Bannon's out of the picture, and the president's talking about a bill of love. What is going on here?
That's right. You saw a lot of conservative groups and conservatives outside the White House today really questioning what President Trump was talking about, thought he was, you know, the bill of love, talking about granting protections to dreamers, things that they don't support. But yes, the president had this meeting, and he said he does want a deal on DACA, and was very much showing that he wanted to get Democrats involved, that he was saying that he'll take the political heat and they should just make a deal.
Darlene, I guess I'm asking you what we should think about this meeting. I know that some people inside the White House with a straight face said to some reporters, no, really, the president has always believed the shame of these meetings is the American people don't get to see the work that we do, and that's why we let cameras stand there and roll for 55 minutes. The other way, and some reporters reported that with a straight face, the other way of viewing it is this comes during the discussion of the book about the president's state of mind. And how better to solve that than to show a guy seemingly on top of his game. So my question to you is, how should we look at what we witnessed there today?
I think you can look at it both ways, right? Remember that President Trump came out of reality TV. He has long thought that he's his best spokesman, his best negotiator. And so what better way to convey that to the American people than to open up a meeting with members of Congress talking about immigration and just letting people see this freewheeling discussion that was going on today. But again, as you mentioned, it does come against the backdrop of the release of this book last week that painted him in a very unflattering light, as childlike, as in over his head in terms of the presidency. And I think there is some truth to the fact that he and his advisors in the White House also wanted to show that he is somewhat in command, he's mentally stable and willing and able to do the job, which can be debated, but he's, you know, on showing that he can negotiate.
Well, David Jolly, that's why Associated Press writers are so good at their jobs. You are under no such constraints. So the question to you is, do you think it was a real meeting or the land of make-believe on Mr. Rogers?
No, I think it was real. And listen, this was a moment of remarkable vulnerability and risk for the president and the White House. This was a moment where the president demonstrated what we know, which is he is somebody with little to no ideological conviction. But it also proved out an axiom for Trump critics like myself, that just because Trump does something doesn't mean it's wrong. And what I mean by that is DACA. Trump clearly wants to get a deal on DACA. He gave away the store suggesting he would get DACA. And the irony, the great irony here, Brian, is this. DACA will be the one thing that is truly Trump's legacy in these first 12 months. Everything else has gotten done, from the tax bill to the individual mandate repeal to the deregulation agenda. Those are bread and butter Republican issues we've been working on for years. President Obama just would never sign them, but Donald Trump would. The Republican base doesn't want DACA. Congressional Republicans never passed DACA. This would be Donald Trump's legacy, which is DACA, and the question is, how does the base swallow that?
And that is exactly what we're going to talk about. We've asked our panelists to stay with us. We'll take another break. We'll be right back.